Welcome, everyone, to our latest episode of the Testing Room, where three of the gaming industry's best video game consultants who have never actually consulted on a video game bring you new topics each and every week. As always, I'm Alex, aka the Godfather.
I'm Christian, aka Sudowoodoo45.
I'm Preston, aka Funkadelic Jedi.
Yeah, and I am so close to you all, but so far away
I know.
here in
Not close enough.
the beautiful, finally warm city of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So yeah, apparently, I don't know if you guys saw this, just a goofy thing. Somebody sent it to us. Apparently there was like some sort of like chemical thing in the air today, according to MAGA websites, and they were sending it
Oh,
out on social media and uh so they
Must
were
have missed it
people
on the
were
mailing list
like
that I'm clearly a part of.
I
fear
was with a
mongering.
buddy and we got a text message from someone else that said, "Hey, is everybody okay today?" And they're like, "What are you talking about?" They sent this radar image of just like red. They're like pollutants were released like accidentally in the sky, and like, is there like a shelter in place or anything? And my buddy zoomed in. He was like, "Why does your photo say like MAGA 1313 on the bottom of that picture?"
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
So
there
I
is.
don't go outside though, so I might be okay. I might have just missed it. Like it
No.
missed me.
Yeah,
You're
can I
fine.
just say, I think it is. As somebody who grew up in Illinois and, has been in Chicago multiple, like, a lot, um, it is mind blowing the way that conservatives in America cannot leave Chicago alone. Like, it keeps them up at night in a way that I'm actually jealous of. Like, I wish I could care about something the way that
It,
conservatives care about Chicago.
I do not mean this in a rude way, what I'm about to say, Chicago. But like you're not the best city, right? You're
Well,
not terrible. Like
let's
I
hold on.
I
I think
I
we're
like
just
Compared to,
other cities of its
yeah,
size or larger. I
good
like
list.
Chicago, so there's nothing wrong with Chicago. But like I don't know why everybody's
I
so
mean, it's
fixated. You're
one
not
of
the
the. It
best
doesn't.
city. The city's fine. It's
It's
It's a
fine.
good city.
pretty great. It's pretty
It's
great.
it's fine.
I mean, it's pretty great. I think the problem is here's the thing. I think that I would not like Chicago too if I had to grow up when we grew up watching Chicago constantly win all the time. I
Yeah.
understand. I would hate it too. But it's okay
You
because
you're
I'll
you're
tell
paying you're
you,
paying a penance now.
hey, you know what? Look, a price well paid, all right? Um, yeah, I don't know. It's just so funny to me. Like, there was one year, this was back when my siblings were, I mean, way, way, way younger. And we took them up there for a trip, just like 2 days, like just hanging out, and we were,
Mhm.
going around doing stuff. And we had a text from a conservative relative who was like, guys, please be careful. Saw this today, thinking about you, blah, blah, blah. And it was basically like some manufactured story that was the whole city was under martial law.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
and
Maybe this is all the Batman. Maybe this is all the Batman movie where they
yeah,
blow up
yeah,
all the
yeah.
bridges. They're
And
like, I think that's Chicago.
so funny enough, that's actually what it was related to. Is that there was so during that filming, obviously there was
Street shut
a whole
down.
scene
Yeah.
and yeah. And so people ran with that, turned it into a fake story that spun out of control. But there was people who were like, "Oh my god, the whole city's locked down." And I like literally was just we were standing in line, I think at like a taco truck somewhere, and I was like,
No.
"Nope, it's all good. Everything's fine.
Jesus.
You're a psychopath."
So I don't I don't know how many of the listeners out there have been to Chicago. What I love about Chicago is I like cities that have been built up over time, but you can still see the way
Mhm.
the architecture have expanded, right? So our work office that I often go to when I'm here is on Michigan Ave. So anybody that's been here, Michigan Avenue is where all the shopping is, where all the fancy things are, right? Where all the businesses had their headquarters at one time or another if you were in the city. And right below Michigan Avenue is Wacker or Lower
Yeah,
Wacker
lower
Street.
whacker,
And
baby.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and Michigan Avenue is great, right? And Lower Wacker I'm not kidding. Like in in my life, I've only ever seen like a rat or two, right? Like I've been to New York, I've seen like a rat. However, a year or two ago when I was here, maybe before that because it was like pre-COVID. I was here and we were on Lower Wacker one night heading to a bar, and it was like a movie where I saw like 20 rats running along the street like a wave. They all ran up into like a little door and stuff. Like it is out of a horror scene. And if the sun goes down, Lower Wacker makes you feel like you might get murdered. There's
Plague
nobody else
Tale.
down there,
Plague Tales in
right? So like
Chicago.
yeah, it's not like I have to watch my back 'cause somebody's gonna like be there. Like it's a very empty street because nobody wants to be down there. But it also feels like somebody could jump out at any time and just give you a little stab. Just like ha, right? Like I stabbed you. So it's
Lower Wacker is so funny because that's the street that most people, especially if it's their first time driving in the
yeah.
city, that they hate because not only is it as Alex has described, but it also has a electromagnetic barrier that is put around it. And so as
There's
soon as you drive in, you lose all cell phone reception or maps
and there's no
uh,
lines on the road either.
connectivity. And so yeah, there's none. Yeah, and so you're just driving and you'll say you have your maps up and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna try to find, because a lot of hotels around that area will put the entrances to their parking garages down
Yep.
there,
Yep.
which is awesome. And yeah, so you'll be driving, you're like, okay, I'm just trying to find, and I'm gone. Like it'll just be like, good luck, fuck you, like, and you just have no idea
There,
what to do.
there was a new hire. So we are staying on a hotel in Michigan Ave as well. Typically, I like one off Michigan Ave because like I don't care about all the noise. There's a really great Hotel Chicago here, but I'm at the Marriott on Michigan Avenue,
Yeah.
which is literally 1.5 blocks from the office straight. You come out, you turn right, you can see the office from the front entrance.
Wait,
However,
way to dox
if you,
yourself.
yeah, no, it's fine. If you go out the back entrance, you are on Lower Wacker.
Hmm.
And somebody that's never been here to Chicago before, was going to the office for the first time, was late by like 20 minutes. People were trying to get hold of him, like, hey, where are you? Where are you at? And they're like, I mean, I took a lift this morning because I didn't know how far it'd be, which everybody else walked. And the lift got on Lower Wacker, and then like we just there's a lot of one way streets, other things. So like went up, crossed the river, turned around, came back across the river, got lost on Wacker because he had no internet service, and the guy was like, I don't know, I'm gonna be there. It's like 30 minutes late. It's literally like a 1.5 minute walk. Like I'm not even kidding. How close you can be to some places here, and yeah, it's a black hole. In the city, I have this weird love for the city, living in St. Louis and coming up here for concerts and other stuff, and then for work. And I used to do work even when I'm not in the office, like in Chicago. But I don't know if it's like I do like the city or if I just have Stockholm syndrome because I come here so often. So it's one of the two.
It's a
It's
good
it's
city.
just that it's okay. You just like the city. It's okay.
You want to know something I realized the other day? Out of all the times I've been to Chicago, I've never seen the Bean, not once.
It's
Not missing
okay.
out.
Yeah,
It's
you just feel
Here's
like
the
it's one
thing.
of those things
Here's
like
the
you should
thing.
see. Like
I'll
I've
tell
never
you.
even seen it.
Every single time that somebody goes to the Bean, and I've taken multiple people at their request, and every single
Yeah,
time I'm like, "Are you sure?" And they're
yeah,
like, "Yes, I've never seen it." I'm like, "Okay, but you know that it's just a big reflective piece of metal. Like that's it." And they're like,
yeah.
"Yeah, yeah, no, I get it, but I've never seen it." I'm like, "All right." And then every single time we go, they walk up, they look at it, and they go, "It
Yep.
really is just a big reflective piece of metal, huh?" And you go, "Yep." Like
Uh,
I'm just, I just don't know what to tell people. Like
yeah.
as long as you go in knowing, you just walk up and you go, "Yep, that's my reflection. Cool," and then you walk off. Like that's really about it. The park,
I
honestly, the park that
I'll
it's
I'll
hosted
walk.
in is nicer than the Bean.
I'll walk one day, because I won't subject anybody else to me walking over and doing the same thing at the Bean. But one of these days, I'll walk over there from the
Mm-hmm.
hotel
Yeah.
and just be like, "It's a Bean. It's Big Bean. That's it."
It's even not. I mean, it's big, but it's like not that big. It's not like, oh my god, it's so big. It's like it's big.
Does
I mean, it's
does
big
the
enough that like
Bean
10 people can lay under it. Like it's pretty big.
Yeah.
does
Still,
the Bean have significance to Chicago, or was that just the shape somebody decided to
It's just
do?
an artist that did something that it just that was the thing that they put there.
Smartest decision.
So it could have just been like the Chicago Cube just as easily.
Yeah,
Yep.
Or
I'm sure there is a
okay.
honestly,
cube somewhere.
honestly, as like if my gut reaction, I would prefer Cube, but maybe it's because I've been so used to the meme that I would. But
All right. Well, that's enough of our nonsense. Let's kick things off. We're gonna get things started as we typically do. Jumping over to Preston's comment corner and see what's happening over
No
there.
comments for this week, but let me just
so
check real quick.
hold
I have
on,
I
I
have a
actually have a
question.
comment.
There you
Okay.
go.
I have
I
a
was
question for
I had
Preston
a
too.
comment verbally yelled at me.
Oh God.
So I will tell
Ooh.
the story here at the comment corner.
From who? Somebody random on the street just like saw a
No,
shirt and was
it was a
like,
listener.
okay.
Who can't comment on YouTube? Help us out.
Uh,
Oh, that
when the story
Preston.
happens, you'll understand
Okay.
because.
Preston
But
sass, by the way, of like, oh,
I know.
It'll take a lot. YouTube.com/ at the testing room.
So, I got a call from friend of the show, composer of our intro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
One
Damien.
Damien. And he was livid about a video game, and he felt the need to call me about it. So Damien obviously he does like video games. He likes playing guitar a whole lot more.
Sure.
And so it's like a side hobby for him. So there will be times where he is the type of person that when they play a video game, he is only there for pure enjoyment. Like if a game
I mean,
introduces,
aren't we all?
sure, but I'm saying that if a game introduces any friction whatsoever,
He's
he's
out.
Okay.
like, no, like no thanks,
Not
not
worth
what
it.
I'm here for. I'm sure some people like this. It's not for me. Go fuck yourself.
Sure.
And so like for instance, like a Souls game,
Mm.
the idea of like spending time to get your ass beat to learn something just to move on to have it repeat the process, he's like, gun to his head, it wouldn't happen.
I understand.
I actually respect that a lot, to
Yeah,
be fair.
look, totally your thing, right?
There's something wrong with Christian and I, so I
Uh,
will, yeah, I
um,
appreciate that.
and so he, one of his favorite games of the last, like I would say, decade probably is both the Ori games, right?
Okay.
And so I would say as far as like friction is concerned, like that's probably his upper limit, like. Because there's sections in Ori, like Preston, you've played through them, so you know, like there's sections in Ori that can get kind of tough,
yeah.
like for sure.
Platforming, hard shit. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's I would say is like his upper limit, right? So people have been telling him for ages, ages and ages and ages, dude, if you like Metroidvanias and you like this, like you gotta try Hollow Knight. You gotta try it. And he tried it once 7 years ago. I did not know this. This is all brand new at this story that he's telling me. He tried it once 7 years ago and died, went back to his body, and then found the specter floating there that you have to fight to try to get back to your body to then get there. And he was like, nope, fuck
No.
you. Like, I'm not doing
Yep.
that. Ever since then, this like... So I didn't know anything about this. This specter has been looming over him, just being like so pissed off that he couldn't figure out or like Hollow Knight. He just didn't. It made him mad that it existed and that he couldn't figure it out for whatever reason. And so obviously with all the Nintendo Switch 2 stuff and everything and Silksong blowing back up and people being excited or whatever. That brought that feeling back up again, and so he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try it again. Like, I'm gonna try and, go through it. So he goes to do it, and he gets to, like, I think it's, like, the second or third boss in that game. Or, like, because you can go different ways, but, like, the general second or third boss. And he died, I think he said something in the neighborhood of, like, 15, 20 times, something like that, I don't know. And he was getting... shaking mad. Like,
That's
so angry. And when he was telling me about this, I said to him, um, what, like, first of all, just stop playing was my advice. But I said, secondly,
That's fair.
why are you? I said, why are you yelling at me like this? Like I developed this game or something like that. To which his response was, very rudely, I might add. He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Last time I checked, only one of us has a fucking video game podcast where they are apparently one of the three best video game consultants." And so he's like, "You can consider this a comment." And he was like, "I need help, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm fucking supposed to do here." And I was like, "Okay,
Fair enough.
Mr. Dramatic." So I sent him a bunch of videos and stuff that were like, easy sort of like beginner tips and tricks and different things for Hollow Knight. And like an hour later, he sent me a photo of that boss dead that just
Very
said
nice.
"rest in piss" on top of it. So
Very good.
There you go.
there you go.
Congrats, Damien.
But yeah, that was the comment
Very cool.
/ story.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Happy for him. He overcame.
That's very funny. That's very funny.
That being said, my
I-
overall message to everybody listening to this is: if you are playing a game and you are not having fun,
Stop.
move on.
Just stop.
It's okay.
You can always come back to
It's
it
just
if you really want
it's
to play
just
it.
okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had a question for Preston, which was how excited are you with your draft pick and recent release of Oblivion Remake?
Well,
And
yeah.
it should count as a remake, which is a spot that you don't have in the league, so it should fill that.
I'm debating. Yeah, because I don't have a remaster or a remake slot filled.
Yeah.
So like, I could go either way.
It's
I think.
filled.
What do you mean?
They changed the tag on it.
Yeah,
so
no,
it's
I mean
filled
like
now.
I could go one way or another with it as far as like that spot will be empty if I move it to remake. So, I don't know.
I think
mean,
it already moved.
to remake or remaster because it removes remaster.
When,
but it
when I
did not remove to
when I
remake.
looked earlier, it had not moved.
So,
but my
in-
question is just more like, are you excited about the fact that game did come out when people were debating it may not, who knows when it's going to come out?
No.
And
So,
apparently all the reviews seem like people like it.
I mean, I'm waiting for the reviews to happen because it was shadow drop, so no one expected it to be happening.
Yeah.
If they gave it to people for early review copies, like everyone kept their mouth shut. But I will say that all the podcasts that I listened to, like on the side, like everyone there was pretty much talking like this was like the worst kept secret in the gaming, like as far as games press industry or
Yeah.
whatever you want to call it, games media, because everyone knew that it was happening and they're almost certain that was going to happen this year. So I'm like, you know what? I could use a remake / remaster. I'm not sure what was going to be at that point. At that point, I think everyone was saying it was remake. So I'm like, I could use a remake spot. There's not a good chance that we'll get like a good remake announced at the Summer Games Fest. So I put the money down on it when someone else bid on it. And I got it.
So I saw what happened. So they had the
They
the
debated
tag
it, and they
officially
decided
set
not to change it.
as remake,
Yeah.
and then the title says remaster, and so they said that they're leaving it up to leagues. I will change it. It's a remake. I will change it to remake,
Sure.
and it'll fill that slot.
Yeah, no, I'm super stoked.
Are-
I mean, I knew it was going to come out.
I was there. Are you
pretty
excited to play? Like,
Pretty positive.
I'm excited to play it. So you guys know this about me. Like, I love Oblivion. I don't know about you. Maybe you guys don't care as
I've only
much.
played Skyrim. Like I've dabbled in Morrowind and Oblivion, but I've always like just kind of fucked off and did something weird, like killed my trainer and ruined like the main quest. So like I
That's a
didn't really
thing
get
that
into
can
Elder
happen in
Scrolls.
Morrowind, yeah.
I didn't really get into Elder Scrolls until like Skyrim, and I did the whole full campaign of it, but I didn't like go back to it or anything like that to like play more of it. But I don't know. Like my friend Adam, who listens to podcasts sometimes, like he loves that, and like when it shadow dropped on him, like he got like a full like page of text, be like, "This is so fucking amazing! Oh my god, they just dropped this and it looks incredible." I'm like, "Yeah, dude, they've been putting some work into it. They just felt like dropping it." You know, there's always like theories of like they dropped it now because they wanted to get it out early enough to like not be around Ghost of Yotei and not be around Grand Theft Auto 6. So it's like they're like, you know what, just throw it out there. Just
I mean,
release it, let it happen.
Do you guys think that that game would have pulled away from Grand Theft Auto or something, or the Grand Theft Auto would have taken away from that. Like I feel like
Yeah.
this being a remake of such an old game, even though it's a beloved game, I feel like people would still buy the
You
newer
want to know
game and maybe
why?
this, or just put this one off for long. I don't know.
The reason why is because we all think that Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be $100 fucking.
Well, I am not anticipating buying Grand Theft Auto 6 to begin with anyway, because it's just not one of my
Oh,
like
I'm getting it day
anticipated
one. It's
games. But
I'll have to
is
hold
it a
off.
day one for
Yeah,
you?
dude, I played Grand Theft Auto 5 like mad crazy. I loved Vice City. I liked 3 well enough. 4 was all right, but like
But
5 was incredible. I love
okay,
that story. That
but
story was
but let me
fucking amazing.
but let me ask you this. I loved Vice City. I had like everyone did. I
Hmm.
had three. It was actually the reason why I got rid of my Nintendo 64 when I was a kid because I wanted to buy a PS2 to
Hmm.
buy Grand Theft Auto
Yeah,
3, right?
fun.
So I had three. I had Vice City. I loved Vice City.
Hmm.
San Andreas was okay. Got a little bit much with like the weightlifting and the eating and all that other stuff, but I
I
still
didn't play
enjoyed San
station.
Andreas. They were all bangers. But honestly, four changed so much from those old games, and five was so vastly different than four. Like I just kind of dropped off. Did you actually
5 hit
liked
me,
all of those
man.
games?
5 hit me like
All
real
right.
hard. Like I liked Vice City. I went through the whole story. San Andreas, I didn't have like a PlayStation, so I just play when I go to my friend's house and dick around. You do the usual thing of like put in some cheat codes, get some rockets, fucking have a cheat police chase you. 4, I played a little bit of it. Just the tone and the driving I didn't like as much as the other games.
Mm.
5, the driving felt good, and I really liked the story in that. Like going through all the 3 characters. Trevor was fucking hilarious. The radio shows were incredible. Like Danny McBride having his own like little like hour-long segment for the station was great. I adore 5. I played a lot of it when it first came out, and a couple of years after that. I didn't really get much into the online. I tried it when it first came out, and I was like, it's
Yeah.
fine. And then it developed into like a monster, and I think I've tried to jump into it once or twice, and it was just way too much for me to wrap my head around, so I just didn't even bother. Because I would just rather get in a ski-doo, listen to some Danny McBride on the radio, and then just coast around the outside and during sunset or something like that, and just be incredible. I loved Grand Theft Auto 5.
Okay.
So
All
when
right,
it comes
Christian, I know how
out,
you feel
I'll have
about those
words.
games.
About Grand Theft Auto, I mean, wait, about Oblivion or Grand Theft
Grand Theft
Auto?
Auto.
Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I know how you
I
feel
don't
about
care.
those. What about Oblivion? I mean,
Yeah.
Oblivion, you'd probably the same, right? Like, I don't. I know you played it, but you don't seem.
I like Oblivion. It's
Incredible.
just so I'm interested to see. It's certainly not like a day one purchase for me at all.
Same.
Um, I'm
Same. I
interested
have
to
too many other things to
see
play.
like how people like what the differences are. What's been. I know that they
So,
released in the trailer. They said that they redid the leveling system. They've touched up different things and redone certain things. And that's all cool, like mechanically speaking, that's cool that they changed that. But
Mhm.
like I want to know what else, like, what have they changed like enemy density? Have they changed how the Oblivion gates work as far
That's true,
like
because man, there's not a lot of enemies. They're few and far between if you're just out in the
no, there's a
wild.
lot like
Like,
there's a lot of empty space and that was kind of like a talk that we had before. I don't know that we ever did it on the podcast, but like Oblivion like it was from a time where like games were not that big and so like having a game be this fucking massive ass sandbox
mhm,
that Bethesda's like, look at those mountains over there, you can go to them. Like it was like a whole fucking thing, right? Like, and
mhm.
so it was cool back then because we had not had that before, right? So like, it's okay that the world is like this massive open thing, um, but uh I don't know that that would really resonate well with people today. And to be honest, like I saw everybody getting like super pumped when this got dropped,
hmm
and then I have seen next to nothing about it since then.
So I'm. There's been a lot of chatter in our league chat about the game. I keep up with it, so I don't know if
Mostly
anybody from
about
that
whether or
league.
not it's going to support mods, but yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if anybody in our league listens to this because I don't know those people very well, so I don't
I don't
engage
think
very
so.
much. I say I
Yeah,
don't engage very much in that league, but I do read everything that comes through, right? And I knew it was going to support mods. I saw a mod yeah, that came out first thing this morning, so I knew that. But there was a
yeah, where it turns
comment
your
made by
horse into
somebody.
Donkey from Shrek.
No, I saw the one that was like a bunch of anime girls on a sword which was like the first one. It was just stupid. It was like anime panels. But
Oh,
the one comment I found interesting was that they said, the game looks great and all this other stuff, but they said that they didn't change the facial animations, right? Like they didn't
yep.
update any of that. And they said like I find that charming, which is a personal preference. I don't know if I will find that charming or if I'm going to be like that feels dated. And I'm interested to see how I feel about some of these changes
So
or lack thereof.
yeah, to my knowledge, the studio said that they did like focus testing and stuff
Hmm.
with fans of the game, and it was, I guess there was a build that had that stuff updated as well as combat animations and things like that, and the feedback on that was negative.
So
Uh,
combat animation is just side swipe with
yeah,
sword.
and
That's
like
all
how
that
like weird
was.
the stabbies look and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay. All
Um,
right.
So I've,
and so
I've
they changed all that stuff back and kept it original because that was the feedback that they were given. I
Interesting.
personally, I would say that I can't think of a Western RPG in recent memory that had combat that was that good anyway. Like, as
Sure.
in, like, it all looks like that to me. Like,
Clunky. Yeah, it looks a little clunky and
it does.
basic.
the
It
hands and
just
Yeah.
straight up,
shit. Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I just played through Cyberpunk and did the
Yeah.
sword
Cyberpunk's
combat,
the
and
same.
and it's the fucking exact same thing. So like
Uh-huh.
that part to me, I don't really give a shit about. Like I'm more concerned with like the minute to minute gameplay, right? Like, is it going to be just a bunch of empty space that I'm running in, then maybe I occasionally run into a whatever, and or
Hmm.
like is even the Oblivion gates, like Alex, I know you and I were talking about this, but when you go into an
Hmm.
Oblivion gate in that game, like there's some times where like you walk into an Oblivion gate and there is fuck all in that gate. Like
And a
you're
lot of them
going
are the
in,
same. They're like the
and
same.
so
This.
many of them are the same. Like you're
Yeah.
running in, you're like, yep, this is okay. That's this roll of this. I'm running
Yep.
up to the tower, yanking this thing out. Boom, it blows up. Thanks, bye bye. Like, and the balancing like towards the end kind of makes it so that there's like not really ever a reason to like go into them
Hmm.
again. Like outside of when the story has you go. Like once you get certain things, like there's kind of no reason for you to go back. It doesn't matter. You know, that's basically my concern. Is like, does any of that stuff is that stuff changed, or is it all the
Yeah.
same? If it's all the same, then again, more power to everybody. Like I hope people get in this, get the nostalgia whiplash that they love. It blows up for them,
I
and they
will
love
play it
it.
this year at some point. I just
Yeah,
don't know
and
when.
I hope all of that. Like I hope everything comes true that everybody wants out of it. It's just that I the only Elder Scrolls game I have ever played more than once is Morrowind.
Interesting. Not even Skyrim.
No,
Okay. Cool.
no. I tried. I played through Skyrim once, and
Yeah.
then I tried it again when I found the Randy Savage Dragon mod.
Mm-hmm.
I played that for about 3-ish hours, and then I quit that
It's
still
that same
because
game. Yeah.
yeah, it's still the same game, right? It's just instead I hear, oh, the Macho Man's are coming. Like it's just funny, but
I
It's
do
great.
too.
but it's only and it never lost its funniness for me. But there's a certain point where
Yeah.
you're like, yep, I got the bit. Like
Yeah.
hilarious, you guys are doing God's work, but I installed the mod and played it for a little while, but I'm not doing another full
But
playthrough of
Alex,
this
I'll
game.
say that I've seen some of this gameplay. The facial
Mhm.
animations do not they're not jarring, and I'll even
Yeah.
say they're not any worse than Star Wars Outlaws. So like it's
Oh,
not
okay.
like completely far off than what you get from some
So it
games
doesn't
nowadays.
throw you that
So
bad. It's
take
not
No.
that
like,
as
oh, that's
either praise or a dig at Star Wars Outlaws, however you want to flip that coin, I
However you
guess.
feel when you see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that is the dude. That might as well have been Preston flipping a table about Star Wars Outlaws.
I
Not a
know.
bad game.
Not a bad game.
That was nice. Like,
All right. All right. Well, let's get into our weeks,
yeah,
shall we? Who wants to kick us off?
I can go ahead
I
and
can
start.
go. Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, Preston has to talk
With the book
more
club.
later this week too with the book club, so he can kick things off.
So, still dabbling with a little more Redout too. I'm probably not going to talk about it anymore until I get some more class license. So just assume I'm playing it. Star Wars: The Old Republic. We have finished Terrace, and then we are now off to Nar Shaddaa. So we're going into the criminal underworld for the next planet. Having a great time with that game. Still wonderful. Got my nice little celebration, Star Wars Celebration convention add-on. So if you log in during the weekend of Celebration, you get like one of those little pod that follows you around that Grogu looks like Grogu's in. So there's like a little minion. You get that. If you were a subscriber, you can get a Mandalorian themed mount, but I didn't subscribe. I held back because I didn't need it because I got an exclusive.
Did you think about it?
Oh yeah, I was thinking about it the whole time I was fucking playing. I'm like, I could just like, nope, you don't need to. You don't need to.
You didn't
just
think
bought a
about
pod
it.
racer. We're fine. I did think about it. But yeah, it's great. I'm fun with that. Star Wars Sundays. Most Sundays, as far as the... Let me get my calendar out. There's 2 Mondays that we will be playing Star Wars instead of Sundays. That would be...
What are you going to play on Sundays?
We're going to play Revenge of the Sith because it is the 20th anniversary of Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So we're going to play it on May the 5th, which people say is May the 6th. And then May 12th is when the game actually came out 20 years ago. So we'll be playing on the 12th as well. So we'll do Mondays for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back on the SWOTOR, the Old Republic train. But yeah, get a little change up. I haven't played... Last time I played Episode 3 was when Christian got it for me. When we had a previous podcast / YouTube channel.
Back in the dark days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I still got that copy, so I can bust it out if I want to. But yeah, that's a surprisingly great game. So if you're curious about it, keep an eye on the YouTubes, or if you want to hang out with us on May 5th and the week
It's so
after
funny
that.
too, because when I got that game, I remember I was at a store and it was in like a bargain
Dollar
bin
bin,
thing
yeah.
for like $2 or $3.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, this will be, and you can see fucking Ian McGregor and Hayden Christensen's like dumb face on the disc, like they're both like, and you're just like, oh man, I was like, oh, this will be a great
Movie
gag
tie-in
gift. I'm
game?
gonna
Yeah.
do this, yeah. And so then I was like, yeah, I'll get that for Preston. So I went and snagged it, and when I gave it to Preston was like, dude, this game fucking owns, and I was like, what?
Oh no,
And
you
he
knew
was like,
because you unlocked the characters in the multiplayer for us.
right, yes.
And you're like, I know, it's
So I
surprising.
did it afterwards. But I can't, yes, that's what it was. And so I was like, dude, this game fucking rules. Like, I had no idea that it was actually good. And then Preston was like, yeah, dude. And so it became a whole thing. But
It's the best Star Wars
yeah.
fighting game. I mean, it has a main story campaign where it's more like a RPG, but like action RPG. But like, there's a player versus player fighting game version of that game in there. And it's surprisingly very well done. So
Every time. Oh, you said never mind. Never mind. That's Revenge of the Sith. I was thinking the earlier trilogy, so you're good.
Revenge of the Sith. I am talking about Revenge of the Sith. Yes.
Oh, wait,
Episode
is
3.
that the third one, right?
Yeah,
Episode
with
3.
Hayden
Every time,
and,
every time I watch that one, it gets a little better. Like I look at it, and go, out of the 3, this is by far the best. But I also just leave it going as a standalone Star Wars movie. Like this one's actually not bad.
Yeah, it's because it's
pretty
PG-13,
good.
and they were able to
It's
not
pretty
hold
good.
back on some of the things in there, but it's
Yeah.
still George Lucas's
And I think
writing. So
it's his
doesn't do
dialogue
dialogue
and
very
writing
well.
always
Yeah.
sucks. No, but it's the most they actually let Hayden Christensen act,
And
right,
be
and
evil.
show emotion.
Yes.
And he's actually, I like him. I think
I
he's
do.
fine.
Well, I remember seeing Life as a House before he got cast, and if you see that, he's an angsty teen boy, and he's getting mad, throwing things around, and then like they hire him from like, yeah, okay, I can see that.
tracks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it tracks. Yeah, a little angry boy. So, yeah, no, I'm excited to play that. So yeah, keep an eye out on YouTube's if you want to see the VODs. Otherwise, hang out with me on the 5th and the 12th. Yes, those 2 Mondays if you wanna hang out and watch me play that game. Played some more of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so that way Christian knows where I'm at. I just finished the boss battle for Dyne. It's not going to be any spoiler stuff for you, Alex. But yeah, Dyne is incredible as far as a storyline. It's a little bit more of Barrett's backstory, and it's very, very legit. Super, super good. This game's good. This game is still good. I don't hate it as much as Christian did because I am 25-ish hours in, and I just finished the first visit to the Golden Saucer, and a little bit after that too. So we're off to the next area after that, and apparently we come back to the saucer. So I'm sitting there going like, wait, did I fuck up? Because I know there's supposed to be a date at the saucer, and I
Yeah,
didn't get a date.
Yeah, you
I'm
said
like,
a
did
lot.
I
And
fuck up? Did I not do enough side quests to get my characters? Because they have the whole thing to where it's like, oh, your the feelings of them changed for you, whether or not you choose this or that. And there's little faces above their head that show like green or mute or something like that to kind of show you how they feel about you. And that's for all the characters, even Barrett and Red, and everything like that. They all have that. So
That's because you're skipping side quests, my friend.
but I mean, I'm fine with that. But like, is it going to affect me choosing
Yep.
who I go on a date with and stuff like that? Okay, well maybe I got
Whoever you have the
now,
highest.
we can now say you have played enough JRPGs to know, yes, it absolutely will screw
Yeah,
you.
I didn't know
not
if
doing
Final Fantasy
side
wanted to be
quests.
like, well, you just choose
It
who you want to
does.
go with, and that could raise
So
the
it
affinity
will,
with them.
because whoever you have the highest relationship
That's
with
who you go with.
is who you go with. You don't. You're not picking. The game is picking for you.
And that's just weird because I don't know always how to get better affinities with that person. Because like, it's not like, here's
You do
Tifa's
it.
side quest. It's like you make a decision or you do something and it's like, oh, someone felt something about that.
Yeah, so there will be side quests that usually the way that it'll work is like when you find a side quest, if there is a character, like if Tifa is standing around that side quest, that is a side quest that will affect her affinity. Like if so she's like, so if you go to accept it, right? So like say like I don't like in fucking the Golden Saucer or whatever, like there's like a old lady who's like standing at a machine and the Tifa's over there, and then you go run and talk to that old lady. And then Tifa's like, Cloud, we should help her out.
Oh yeah,
like,
that happened with Aerith in one of the lower Junon ones. Like, we
Exactly.
should help him out. I'm
Those-
like, okay.
Yeah, that is.
Preston's gonna have such low affinity, nobody's gonna want to go with him, and all of a sudden Chadley's gonna pop up and be like, "Hey, friend,
No,
I'll
I
go with
think-
you."
Nightmare that would be.
I think if you skip all the side quests, I'm pretty
Still
sure.
whoever's the highest, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yes, but what I mean is like I believe it ends up being because one of those side quests is like a mandatory thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it ends up defaulting to Aerith. I think.
I've had. I mean, I haven't. I'm not skipping every side quest. I'm skipping most side quests. So majority, if you will, probably about 90%.
Well, what I would say it's it's a lot because.
There's a lot of side quests. in
I
this
would
game.
tell you that like I was also enjoying the game at 25 hours, and I was like 7 areas behind you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
yeah.
I did play all the games that were available at the saucer at the time. I am happy to know that I go back there because there are some of them that were blocked off. Like, when you go to a mall and they're getting like a shop going and they just have like the picture in front of the mall. So I'm going in through a plane there. They got like a little Star Fox like in there. That's a lot of fun. They have a couple other games in there that I kind of played and had some enjoyment with. But there was one I looked at like while I was sitting there because there's a giant motorcycle. You can do like a VR motorcycle, which essentially has you play like the Final Fantasy remakes motorcycle run. But right to the side, they have that like boarded up section, and it shows like the giant Moogle guy on a snowboard. I'm like, man, you're not letting me play the snowboard game. I wanted to play the snowboard game, and then like you're gonna be coming back there later. I'm like, okay, that better be opened up by the time I come back. So I'm assuming it will. Otherwise, they wouldn't have put that there. And from what I remember, I think there was a snowboarding game in the original Golden Saucer in original Final Fantasy VII. Right? Do you remember?
It wasn't a.
There's a surfing.
No, it wasn't a Golden Saucer mini game. The snowboarding was an
Location.
actual section
Okay.
in the video game.
Gotcha,
So
gotcha.
like this is spoilers for original Final Fantasy
Mm-hmm.
VII. This game is super old. You can go play it whenever. This does not happen in or this is not reflective of anything that's in Rebirth,
Sure.
so don't worry about it. But original Final Fantasy VII, after Aerith gets skewered
Sure.
by Sephiroth
Oh yeah, I remember the
and
funny joke about this. Yeah.
literally the party afterwards is like woohoo, and they go to snowboarding down a mountain and like everybody's all hanging out and doing their thing. So like it's so tonally it's so weird.
As we know from video games, including The Witcher, the best way to get over the death of somebody you care about is have a snowball fight.
Yeah,
or
right.
apparently go snowboarding, so you play in the snow.
Yeah, exactly. That's where Witcher stole it from. Yep, it's
Yeah,
it's
that's what it
crazy.
was. It was a callback all along.
Yeah,
Sure.
your and Jake's favorite game of all time owes everything to Nomura. That's basically is what you're saying. But yeah, that's where that section is in that game.
Happy I got Yuffie now. Got to use her abilities more. I think her as a playable character is a lot of fun. So
It's
Rebirth
very
is great.
fun. I agree.
We'll definitely be playing more as we go along. One last game I wanted to mention. There is a demo out for a game called Unbeatable. This is a rhythm game. I don't know how you say the aesthetic of it. I've heard people say like it's like female Scott Pilgrim, but without him being an asshole. I haven't gotten into a
I
character too
did.
much.
I can see
It
that.
did look Scott Pilgrim-y to me when I got
Yeah.
on. I thought maybe at first that's what you were
I
playing
totally
until I saw
see
the
that.
rhythm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But with this rhythm game, there's 2 buttons. And then you have like variations. Like you can do both buttons at the same time to hit both. But like that's the issue I had with when I did the Rift of the Necrodancer, is that they had like the 3rd button in there. I didn't feel right with all my buttons there. Now, obviously on a computer with a keyboard, it would have been a lot easier because you just do 3 that are right there in a row. But controllers don't have like fucking 3 buttons in a row, and you can try to like go in between with the button, but it's not going to feel like middle. But this one just does 2 buttons, so it's perfect fit for me. I love the music content that they have in there. But yeah, if you have a PS5 or if you have a Steam Deck or like the PC, go and check that game out. So it got a free demo out. There's a story mode to it. I guess that lets you play a little bit of the story. A lot of dialogue and stuff. Not as much of the rhythm gameplay in that from what I played at the moment. I'm sure it gets a lot more as you go through the story, but like that's just more of like a vibes check kind of deal. But there is an arcade section as far as in the main menu. So if you just want to do the rhythm stuff, go to the arcade section, pick your song, pick the difficulty, and just have some fun with it. So I had a lot of fun.
Cool.
I've played hours into this demo, so I know it's going to be a day one for me. So I'm excited about that. That being the only game, I do want to speak about one show. And I guess, I mean, I don't know. Do you guys want to hear what happened at Star Wars Celebration as far as the announcement? Did you guys hear about the announcements at Celebration of Star Wars? How Preston was excited?
I heard
did
about
not hear them.
I heard about him, yeah.
So you got the Sean Levy, who did Wolverine and Deadpool. He's doing a movie
Yep.
with Ryan Gosling called Starfighter. So that's pretty fucking cool. Nothing that we really know about that. So I mean, it's just, hey, I like Wolverine and Deadpool. I really like Ryan Gosling. I'm sure this will be a fun movie. Sigourney Weaver was hired in the Mandalorian Grogu movie. She's going to be like a rebel pilot leader, which I'm excited for. They announced a new animated show, which I know that Christian will be possibly excited about. They are doing
Is it Vision Season 3?
It is a Visions like spin-off sort of show, so
Nope.
I don't
So that
No,
just
no,
that
that
just
was
that,
announced.
just that they already told us about, and that's launching on
Okay.
May 4th. They are making a Maul Shadow Lord animated show from the guys who did like the Clone Wars, and Sam Witwer, aka Star Killer, is back to voice him, and has a lot to do with production and stuff like that. So it's get to hear them talk about that. It sounds really fun and interesting. I can't wait to see what that's going to be looking more like.
Do-do-do-loop.
But yeah, I have a feeling it's going to be like a little bit after Solo, the movie.
Yeah, so that's what I find interesting. People, you did the reveal of Maul, and people were like, "Oh no, he's still there!" Like, and of course, if you knew Clone Wars, you knew, but like, he's still a guiding force. And they're like, "Well, let's anime that up." People really want the anime.
I mean, animation is good. I mean, like if you like the Clone Wars and Rebels, it's going to be from that same production company, so it's
So,
I like that style.
I'm sure it'll be good. It just seems like Disney not taking a chance, right? Like it seems like they went a safe route and like we could do it because there's not there's no money tied up in an anime compared to a movie, right?
You don't
There's
think
no
money.
there's no chance.
You don't think like what do you mean money tied up? What do you mean by that?
It costs them nothing to make an animated show. They are an animation
Excuse
company that brings
me?
in billions.
Do you know how much it costs to make CG animation?
Yeah, it's Disney who has been
Expensive.
in trouble with Marvel and everybody else, paying the least amount of money of any company for CG. It costs them nothing.
This is not
to make-
like
all I'm saying-
CG
all I'm saying,
effects.
Preston,
This is the Clone Wars animated
all I'm
style.
saying, Preston. Yeah, if you
yeah, but
said
they own
here,
the studio.
yes,
Sure.
they do. They
So it
own
doesn't
all
cost them
parts
money
of it.
to pay people.
If you were to say, here are the 3 projects
But-
I want for this character, Disney said, which one is the cheapest? And somebody goes, well, probably a cheap animated television show. They go, yep. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying it
Filoni
seems
wanted
like
to
a
make a
cheap...
show like that, and
No.
they decided to go back to it
No.
because that's what they've been
No.
doing Darth Maul with for the past 10 years
No.
in an
Can I-
animated form.
Really quick, press. Hold on, Alex. What did you want here?
What'd you expect
Out of this
here?
conversation
Yes.
or out of the movie? I'm just saying it's
show?
it's just
You know
Disney
that I'm right in
being
asking
cheap.
you this question, so
It's
that's what I'm
Disney-
saying.
it's just Disney being cheap. Like I've never said the show is going to be bad. That's not
I'm
what I
sure you
said at
did.
all. I'm saying Disney reintroduced a live action version of this character and got people excited, and then chose the easiest, cheapest way out of it. One that will
Did they
get
reintroduce a
less.
live action version of this
Yes,
character?
he was the stinger in Solo
I
at the end
mean,
of Solo.
to be fair, he was in the Phantom Menace. I mean, that's where he was from.
Oh, and so I never saw Solo, so I didn't. Sorry,
Yeah,
I apologize.
he
I
he
didn't
was
know
he
that.
was the stinger at the
Yeah,
very
he's
end
the
of
end
it.
credits thing to where Ray Park played him still,
Yes.
but Sam Witwer voiced him, and he had
Yes.
robot
So then,
legs.
oh, and he has the robot. He does have the
Yes.
robot
Yes,
legs from the
yeah.
show. So okay, so
Yes.
quick question. So lore wise,
Lore-wise.
Preston,
Yes.
what does any maybe this show deals with it, but what's he up to
So
during the new movies?
obviously the show, but obviously like during like the Clone Wars animated series and Rebels, he's works with the criminal underworld. He does his
Right.
own bullshit, and he's like was head of Mandalore for a while. Like
He takes over Mandalore
Yeah, he
for
takes over
like
Mandalore.
a long time.
Yeah.
so at the end
but
of
that
Solo,
was during the
It was.
technically like the
Yeah,
the
things we know
original
already.
trilogy
Yeah.
or whatever, right? Yeah.
well, that's during like that's during the Clone Wars. That's
Or the
prequels.
in betweens,
Yeah, it's
right,
prequel
right,
stuff.
right.
So this is going to be more in between the prequel and main series. Now, obviously, they touched on that in Rebels itself, but this, I mean, we didn't get a whole lot of detailed information on it. It's just that they're making it. Sam Witwer's involved and who's like making
Okay.
it. But if I had to guess, they're probably going to do it for him being head of the Crimson Dawn Syndicate. So I'm sure you'll get. I forget her fucking name. Girl from Game of Thrones, her character from Solo. I
I'm not.
forget her
I'm not going to help you because you were being sassy about it.
Okay,
So.
well, thanks. Her name, which I should know because I even read the comic books for it, but I'm sure like she'll be involved as well. But who knows? They could go a completely different turn with it, and because I'm assuming that Disney's also okay with just saying "fuck it," we didn't do Solo, and just go off and do whatever they want to do with them all. And yeah, we'll see when we see. But I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Disney is okay with saying fuck it a lot.
Yeah. And then another thing Alex is going to be underwhelmed by. One of the Vision episodes is getting a full-length show called The Ninth.
I saw that.
Called The Ninth Jedi, which is a very cool one. So if you want to see what that's about, just go watch The Ninth Jedi.
Can you remind me? I saw both these, but
If I can
can you
remember,
which one
that is the one to where a whole bunch of people come by to get something like a crystal or something like that, a special. We all think they're Jedi. At the very end, they turn on the lightsabers, and it ends up being a whole bunch of Sith dudes. And then finally,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
so it's-
I wish that one will probably be cool
Yeah,
too.
sure.
What I wish would have gotten a spin-off is the fucking Samurai Jack
the
one.
one-
That one was great.
That one was
Yeah.
sick.
Takashi Osaka or one.
Yeah.
That would have been cool. But he's got his own comic now, and yeah, it's
Hey, do his thing, man.
he's having
Not-
fun with it. He's having fun with his thing. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, a bunch of cool stuff was shown off. Your favorite character from the Visions, Christian, is getting his own action figure with the little droid character, and it's black and white.
Dope.
And also, Dash Rendar is getting his own fucking figure. So, I was eyeballing those. I'm not a big action figure guy as far as getting them all the time, but like getting a Dash Rendar action figure, that sounds kind of cool.
Just so we're clear, Dash Rendar is only a name I know, and when I hear it, I go, that's the name that Preston always says. I know. I don't even, gun to my head, I couldn't tell you what this character
Shadows of
looks
the
like.
Empire main character you play as.
Okay.
The 64 game, yeah.
Yep.
He's got big shoulder pads, if you will. So, yeah, that's. Leading up into that, I watched the first 3 episodes that dropped for Andor season 2. It's fucking amazing. If you liked Andor season 1 or even curious about it, go watch season 1. It's good. It's really, really good. I don't want to spoil anything. They do a fantastic job, and they're releasing it in chunks. So chunks based off of like the small arcs they have. So like this first one is kind of centered on a wedding. Obviously, they go see what Andor's doing. They go see what those couple Imperial people are doing as far as like jumping around stories. But like the main one is around a Chandrillan wedding. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, that's my week.
They did that in season 1 too. They had those three episode arcs through
Did they?
the whole season.
Cool. Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't remember. how it released.
remember because like the prison was an entire 3 episode arc, and it ended with him getting out, and then there was the 3 episode arc where it was the communication with like the woman that worked in or kept going into
Imperium.
the
Yeah.
pawn shop, right? So that was they did 3 episode
I was gonna
arcs
say
too.
I
It
didn't
was
I didn't
good.
know that they dropped them
That's the
at
best.
all at the same time. I thought they did week to
I,
week.
I I don't know if they did if they dropped it all at the same time. I think it was week to week, but they did the same three
Yeah.
episode story arc sort of
Yeah,
thing,
but
which
it's
worked out
nice
pretty
because
well
like
for
you're
them.
getting like a nice little
Yeah,
bow wrapped around like certain story arcs. You're not like
yeah,
waiting every week to get like an answer of what happened here. It's like, okay, no, when
yeah.
anything's done, you got those three
It's the
episodes, and now we're gonna go on the next three.
it's the best show they have so far. Like it's very good.
I mean, Rogue One is one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite Star Wars movie, and this is just leading up to it, and it has the vibes for it. So
It has the best ending of any Star Wars movie.
it did have one of the best endings of a Star Wars movie. It was really pretty fucking cool. Although Empire Strikes was pretty cool too because it ends on a down note. But yeah, that's just my personal favorite.
Yeah, it doesn't end like Rogue One though.
No, it does not. Nothing ends like Rogue One does. Nothing.
That's what I'm
period,
saying. It has
ever.
the best fucking ending,
Yeah,
dude. It's
of
so
any movie.
good.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about that, and then
Nice.
excited to talk about the game we played this week. So
All right, Christian, you want to go next?
I can. Uh, since we're talking about JRPGs, I beat Fantasian.
hell yeah, nice.
Nice.
Yeah, so I've always said, I don't know if I've ever said it on the podcast, but I know I've told you guys before, but like if I take nostalgia with it, my favorite game that Sakaguchi's ever done is obviously Final Fantasy IX. If I'm taking nostalgia out of it, my favorite game that he's ever done is Lost Odyssey.
Okay.
It is now Fantasian is tied with that.
With Lost
It is
Odyssey, yeah.
just as quality as Lost Odyssey. Like it is outside. There's like just a few minor nitpicks that I think I would that could put it under, like just maybe like a half a point under Lost Odyssey for me, which I believe is like a perfect JRPG. Like there's nothing that I would change. It There's a few UI things that are a little like goofy sometimes because it used to be a mobile game and now is on everything else. And so there's like a couple times where like the menu system can get a little weird. But and then there's like certain aspects of the game that you can tell because this game, Alex, to your point, I did look up. This was split in half, so there was a part one and then a part two that came out later.
Yeah.
And so there's things that you can tell in part one that are like, oh, I meant to come here later, which is weird because you're like, I don't know what any of this is, like until you figure it out later. But other than that, like the environments in this game, I know we've talked about it before, but like everything being handmade and like you being in these little set pieces is like, especially towards the end, is some of the most like gorgeous art I have ever seen in my life. Uematsu obviously doing the Lord's work with his soundtrack like always. I mean, like it's just this dude doesn't miss. And they even actually give him an ability, like a thing that I've not seen them do before, which is he also wrote his own short story and a companion music piece that's in the game that like you can go find, like that is like it's basically framed in like you're reading like a little fantasy short story inside the game, but it literally says like written by Uematsu and then music also specially written for this short story to like go along as you're reading it and stuff. It's fucking nuts. But there's that. Alex, this will be a specific note to you because you played 10. Imagine you playing 10 for like 20 hours and then the game gave you the sphere grid.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like you've been
So you're,
leveling up, choosing, like
yeah,
getting,
and then it
you've been
opens up that big.
yes, like you've been leveling up, getting skills, doing things, and then the game was like, hey, cool, like this, all of this stuff happened, or there's like a big story event that sort of like recontextualizes everything, and then you get an item that sort of like augments each character on the party, and they go, boom, a fucking sphere grid, and you're like, oh.
It'd be a bit
Like,
overwhelming, yeah. Here's
it's not
500
even- it's just
nodes
a-
to go fill. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, jeez, and so it's not as big as the sphere grid, but it is a similar setup. And so that was fucking like a mind blowing thing to have hit. It has the story, the characters, everything is just so fucking incredibly charming and well written. And the best part about it is that it does not require any sort of like grinding or anything from you like a typical like a JRPG would. Like the game straight up tells you like, hey, enemies lower level than you will not give you experience. Like you don't have to worry
So don't
about
even
like
waste your
don't
time.
even waste your
Like,
time. Like just play the game and have fun. And so like you'll get a quest and sometimes that quest will be 6 levels higher than you and you go, cool, I know that's for the future. I'll keep going. Like I'll keep walking around doing other things. Um but the game is like very clear on like when to go to do something, what level an area that is that you're in, and the like different stuff. The pocket dimension shit for like monsters and stuff is like such a cool feature that I wish was in other JRPGs, because there's sometimes where you're just like, I just want to fucking get where I'm going. Like I don't want to deal with what is this, and then I'll come back and deal with this shit later. And it happened so many times where there was so many, like I was on my way to a boss and I was like, I don't feel like fucking fighting anything. I'm gonna turn this on, get all the way there, do my exploring through the area, do this, find all these chests, and then as I got to the save crystal right before the boss, I was like, dope, okay, I'm gonna fight all these things now. And then you just do it, and it's fucking, it's so high quality. So I don't really have anything else to add to it. It's just, if people are ever in the mood for a JRPG, you get that itch, maybe give this one a shot.
What was your runtime looking
It's
like?
I finished it at I'll just pull it up for you instead of guessing.
I used to take Christian's amount, and I had like 20 hours to
so
it for myself.
well, I feel like he's played it a while too.
Well, I've been, it's mostly been a Steam Deck thing, but uh I did not do all the side stuff, to be clear. There was certain like end game sort of dungeon things that I didn't feel like doing, but mostly because I just I was
You
hooked
wanna
on the
get through
story.
it. Yeah.
I was at 48 hours.
Okay.
How long to beat has it if you're doing all sides at 62? If you're just doing main story critical path, it has it at 24. I do not understand how you'd be able to not do some side stuff, but maybe you do. I don't know. That's not for me. But yeah, that's where I was at on it. So
Awesome.
yeah, it's just fantastic. That's really it. If you're feeling a JRPG at any point, maybe give it a shot. See how you feel about it. Then the only thing that I've done is, so I finished that up. I have not gotten it yet, but I'm going to. But obviously that game that we've talked about a couple times, but Expedition 33, Claire
Yes.
Obscure.
I've
That's my list.
heard like I
Has
saw the
released
voice
to-
acting.
Yeah, has released to banging review scores.
Can't
I mean,
wait.
like,
I'm so excited for it.
so yeah. As soon as
I
we
didn't
get
know
back
Andy
from some
Serkis
traveling,
did a voice.
Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
I cannot wait
got
to play
Clive
that
in it.
game. It looks incredible.
Mhm.
And just while we're on this subject of Sakaguchi, that
Turn-based,
combat.
baby.
Well, but that combat, the active turn-based, is he started that in Lost Odyssey. So it. As soon as I looked at it, I was like, "Yep, that gives me huge Lost Odyssey vibes." Like even from the camera angles and shit that they're doing. So yeah, it looks great. But up until then, what I've been messing with is I decided it was finally time to pull a trigger on me doing this, because I've wanted to go back and look at these games. So now that I know that I own all of them, I'm going backwards and I'm checking out all of the
You
Monster
even bought
Hunter
yourself a new
games.
system this past week.
I did. I bought a Wii U. I think I had said that we were in the search for a Wii U.
Alex,
I
we
did
found
find
a great new used game place down here. Like, you need to come out and see
yeah?
this place. It's immaculate. It's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is the first place that I've been in that has been as quality as the People Play Game store that I used to go to in Chicago.
It's incredible.
Mhm.
it was incredible.
Everything's pristine. Everything looks good in packages, and it's awesome.
Yes, and the people over there hooked me up with a Wii U. And so I have that. But yes, so the one I decided to start with, I'm going to bounce around, but the one I decided to start with because the online community is still hanging around it is I am checking out Generations Ultimate right now.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I've only done like a few hunts in it and stuff like that. It's Monster Hunter. Like it's just the difference is that this is a collection of everything Monster Hunter used to be before World.
Yeah.
And so it adds so much depth. Like there's like obviously you guys remember, but like Rise had a little bit of this where there was like like super moves that you could build up to like the wire bug moves and different things like as your gauge would sort of fill up and you
Hmm.
could pull those off. That Rise took that from this. So like
Hmm.
there's like 3 super moves for each weapon that you can assign to it that do like wild ass shit. One of them is like I think for sword and shields like a corkscrew spin that like your character just like does like a drill animation and like goes through the monster and you have like invulnerable frames while you're doing it and don't like crazy wild shit like that. There is missions that I've done so far that you can actually go on as your Palico and
Okay.
like
Oh, that's cool.
hunt as the Palico and shit, which is cool. Um, yeah, it's just incredibly charming and so far I'm very much digging it. Um, so I was messing around with that and then before that I popped in to see what the new Peach Blossom festival was in Spring Festival, basically in Monster Hunter Wilds. It's cool. There's not really much going on there. There's a couple new event quests. The Gathering Hub's all different now. They added some new armor sets and stuff like that. But
Hmm.
I think the real big thing is when Raydao shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's it. That's it for me.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, I haven't had a whole lot of time to play things for my week. The same old are always there. I have been playing an entire week of Monster Hunter on a new weapon. So I've been playing around with Sword and Shield,
Okay.
which I think has become my new secondary weapon, if you will. I really dig it. It's super fast. I'm getting the hang of it. I'm learning its combos, and I'm getting pretty good with it. And but what got me after doing all these arena quests that I had to use Sword and Shield for with Christian, I was like, I'm going to learn this weapon a little bit more. But what really got me into it is I was getting the timing down fighting forget it might have been fighting Mitsune or it might have been Arkveld. I think it was maybe Arkveld, yeah, because that was like one of the last armors I had to make. And right in the first fight I popped off one of those like perfect parries, or no, the little like ground turf war things you do where I
Yeah,
like hold my ground and start
the guard
stabbing it.
counters.
Which I haven't actually found that I have a perfect parry like yours that bonks them backwards, because every time I get off, I go straight into that guard counter. Um, I have deflected
I don't know
them, but
that.
they
So
don't.
there's two things, right? There's the offset attack, and then there's the
Right,
guard clash. So the guard clash comes strictly from blocking.
right.
The offset attacks come as a parry. So, uh, but they're in an attack animation. So
So I
like,
probably need to
I
figure
don't,
that one out.
I don't know that Sword and Shield has one.
They may not, but
I'll just tell you. You keep talking.
but the like guard attack thing, like it felt good. Like when I started doing
Yeah.
that with my shield and
Mm-hmm.
blocking it and stabbing, I was like, oh, okay, I get why Christian just likes bonking things and
Mm-hmm.
doing that counter. It's very cool. So that's gonna become my secondary, but that's all I've been playing. And honestly, this week I haven't had time to play anything. But when I do, I'm gonna check in on that festival. Um, Beyond that, I played the game that we're gonna talk about. And I feel like I dabbled in something else, but I don't know that I did. The only other
Assassin's
thing I played,
Creed.
like, yeah, I was gonna say the only other thing I played like 10 minutes of was Assassin's Creed, and I was doing it for a work related thing. So I even skipped all the beginning, like because I needed to test something out. So now I will go back and restart the game. I
Sure.
will say, you start off as Yusuke,
Mm-hmm.
and it's pretty, man. It is. The armor looks great. It's pretty.
Dude, and he hits
So
like a fucking tank. I was watching some combat, and he just kicks some dude and sends him fucking packing to the wall across the street. I'm like, Jesus, this guy
yeah.
is a fucking monster. I mean, he should be. He's a big giant dude, but like, he hits. He hits hard compared to any other
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed you've ever played. It's
Well,
great.
and historically, it makes sense too because he probably was slightly bigger
Yeah.
than many of the Japanese people at the time, right? But yeah, it was super pretty. The only thing I will say about Assassin's Creed is as they've had more and more games. So this one, in the menu, in the start menu, it gives you a timeline show. So as you scale the other character, and if you go up, it goes backwards. So you can see Mirage, you can see Valhalla,
Sure.
you can
Where
see
it's
all of
sitting.
these
Yeah.
things, right? It gives you a little like thing, and it only goes back to Odyssey. So that is the new canon. There is
Okay.
no other like three
Fuck
and whatever.
Ezio, I guess.
Dude, it is clunky as fuck. Like it's smooth. It's not that. I went through the timeline 6 times before I figured out how to start the actual game because it's this weird, very animus type, like glitches going on
Sure. Yeah.
everywhere and stuff everywhere. And then if you look while you're hovering over Yusuke, in the smallest letters, it just goes, new game. And I'm like, oh, that's how I start this thing. Like, just let me play.
Give me a menu.
But
God
yeah,
damn it.
I know. So
You
I
do
like
not have an
literally.
offset attack, by the way.
Okay, that's good to know. Well, still, the what I do have is it feels
The
familiar.
guard counter is very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, but when I first get in, it's nighttime. A village is on fire, and I was comparing some devices. But man, just like the trees in the back waving as they're on fire, and the ash, like
The hair tech
keep
they have in
pretty.
there is really good. It's
So
really good
you're
hair
looking
tech.
at
Yeah.
it though, and I'm assuming you're basically just like, man, I wish I was playing Ghost of Tsushima.
I'm excited about the new one, and you know how you know how much I loved Ghost of Tsushima, like everything about the game, the soundtrack, and all of it. But you also know how I like Assassin's Creed games, and I was very good. It wasn't one I was gonna buy, and like at least anytime soon. I was putting it off, but
I was gonna
work.
say let's not say you weren't going to buy, but
Sure, but it
You're
wasn't high
given
on
a
my
reason.
priority list.
Yeah.
you
But
did you did wait
gods
out.
the gods seem to befit me
Uh-huh.
to
Reason.
tie this into a work related
Your
reason
god
that
Eve
I
Schemo. Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
it has allowed me to acquire the game earlier than anticipated and allows me to play it on the clock for now. So yeah, I will be diving into that and bringing that into my general loop of games that I've
Well,
been
I know
playing.
you got the Ubisoft membership for that because it's the cheapest way, but
Mhm.
maybe you dabble a little bit with Outlaws. See how that makes you feel. I kind of want someone else's opinion on Outlaws.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, Preston. It
No.
really depends on how long I'm able to keep that because I'm not paying for
Oh
that.
yeah, no, you're gonna
So
month.
like,
Yeah.
so if I can get these things in and under a month, I will let you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
Or if for some reason the account gets extended, I will let you know.
Okay.
But if it falls off and I haven't gotten to it, I'm not paying
That's
for
fair.
that
Yeah, no,
service.
I don't expect you to. You're fine.
So, but there's a lot of things. So here's what I will say. You know what? I'm not. There are more games in the tier than I expected. I'm not going to give them any credit because I hate the way Ubisoft does their stuff. But I was surprised by the games they included in the basic tier that I got. Anyway, um, so yeah, that's my week, and that is our week. Not too bad. Don't forget though to check in with us as we start a brand new book club game
Mhm.
this week. Later this week, we're going to be covering Bramble. Um, I'll be honest, I almost just beat this game.
I know you get kind of that feeling, but also it's like, okay, well, we do need to separate it for parts, but
Yeah,
yeah, it's
no,
it, it,
I
it,
liked
it
it.
was
I
it would be
mean,
worth continuing, yes, for sure.
yeah, we'll talk about it later this week. But I also had to stop myself as I got off the
Mm-hmm.
plane for
I
playing
bet.
like when I got to the airport or when I got to the hotel because I was like, well, Preston needs a week too. So let's not do
Mm-hmm.
a disservice and beat it. But I was rolling. So join us as we talk about that game. And yeah, we'll see you then, everybody. So
Mm-hmm.
thanks for hanging out with us. And with that, Preston, you know what to do.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Testing Room. To catch up on past episodes or to check out the newest ones when they drop, follow us on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or wherever you get your favorite podcast. If watching is more your thing, check us out on YouTube, youtube.com/@thetestingroom, or watch us live on twitch.tv/testingroomlive. To leave comments or ask questions, you can follow us on Instagram @testingroompod, leave a comment on YouTube, or send them in to testingroompod@gmail.com. See you next time.